YouTube? I got a good one for you guys today. I was able to cop a 3070. We're going to be taking a look at it, aesthetics, performance. We're going to be comparing it to my current card, which is the 2060 Super MSI Super Gaming X. Still a great card. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to put this thing to the test. I know it's going to be a beast, and I'm pumped. So let's not waste any more time and let's get right to it. All right, let's not waste any time. Let's just go ahead and I'm going to turn it upside down here so you guys can see it a little better. I already cut the seal. All right. And it's so simple, so sleek, but I love it. The minimalist look. I don't know what it is about it, but it just makes it look damn awesome. I mean, I kind of like this look. It's definitely a change from the one I have right now because I have RGB and all that stuff, and this is kind of more, again, like I said, minimalistic. You know, not much lighting. I don't even know if this lights up, honestly. I don't think it does, but it does have a nice weight to it. It feels like it's about the same weight as the current card that I have, the 2060 Super. It feels about 2.5 pounds or so. Could be a little less or more. Has 2 fans. It does have the standard 3 display port and 1 HDMI port, like most other cards. It has a really nice feel to it too. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels like it's mostly metal. It's not plasticky. You know what I mean? A lot of cards normally with lower price points have this really plasticky feel. This does not feel plasticky. It feels nice. What I did notice here is that the power port is actually a 12 pin, and it looks like they include an adapter for 12 to the standard 6 and 2, which is good. So you still only need one cable, versus I believe the 3080 and the 3090 need 2 cables. So that's cool. It's a little extension cord. It's not that long. I mean, it's about the size of my hand. So I really like the matte finish on the bottom. It's super nice. It's got these little ridges right here. I don't know if you can see them, but like right here, it's nice and smooth, and then it kind of has these little ridges. It looks really nice. I mean, overall, looking at it, it's super minimalist, but it looks so nice. I love the look of it. So let's go ahead and put it in, and we're gonna run some tests on it and compare it to my MSI 2060 Super, and let's see how it fares. All right, so there you have it. That's kind of just the visuals of it. Let's go ahead and put this bad boy in and run some tests and see how it performs. All right, guys, so here we're going to be doing a Furmark test with OpenGL at 1080p. My monitor is only 1080p, so just keep in mind these benchmarks are done while recording at 1080p, so you are going to see a little bit of frame loss. I would say probably about 30 to 40 frames or so. We have the 2060 Super on the top and the 3070 on the bottom. You can see the 3070s, it's hanging around 215 to 220, pretty consistent, and the 2060 Super's right in between 165 and 170 consistently. The temperature is one thing that I did notice. The 3070 did run a little bit hotter, right around, I think 69 was the peak Celsius temp, and the 2060 Super, the peak was 63, but still not a bad temp. If you have good airflow, it shouldn't be a problem at all. The 3070 ended up with a score of 15,000 points with 223 FPS, while the 2060 Super ended up with a score of about 10,100 at 169 frames, which is still very respectable. All right, guys, time to take a look at some gameplay. First, we're taking a look at the 2060 Super. And keep in mind, we are recording in OBS at 1080p, so you are going to be losing some frames in gameplay, probably about 30, I would say, depending on what your settings are for streaming, if you stream. So just keep that in mind. We are seeing a consistent between 95 and 110. It's kind of bouncing around a little bit. We know that Warzone is a resource-intensive game. People have been having trouble getting good frames with Warzone, and this just has to do with their architecture and perhaps maybe even Nvidia drivers not being, compatible to the best degree, but regardless, we're still getting pretty consistent frames between 95 and 110, which is really good. We are seeing a GPU temperature of about 65, which isn't bad. That's pretty solid. All right, so now let's look at the 3070. With the 3070, we're seeing around the same temperature, which is great. It's a lower bump than when we were doing the Furmark test, where we were sitting around 69. You can see the frames here. We're right around 140 to 150, depending on movements and where you are on the map. And again, you know, Warzone is just like that. Depending where you're on the map, you're going to get more or less frames. But we are seeing a 30 to 50 frame bump to the 2060 Super, so that's awesome. Keep in mind here, the smoothness. I was recording at 1080p and 30 frames, so it's not as smooth as it would be if you're playing. We did both clips here at 1080p on normal settings across the board, just so we could keep consistency. As you see, the 3070 definitely outperforms the 2060. You're getting that 40 to 50 frames for about the same price. So, is it worth the hype? My answer is yes. All right, guys, so there you have it. Verdict. This thing is an absolute beast. We're seeing consistent 40 to 50 frames better than the 2060 Super. I mean, the hype, it's real. It's worth it. It's literally a $500 2080 Ti. This thing is a monster. For what it is, it's insane. All right, guys, so if you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. You know, the little red button down below here in this general area. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Accept all criticism. Appreciate it. If you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.